Alright, let's try this again. This time I updated the information. It actually says RPG Maker XP, and as the title implies, we will be looking at a database. But before we start that, just want to make a reminder that there is a community contest going on. What community, you may ask? Well, the Discord that I'm a part of and that I help maintain. We are a DIY game Discord where we encourage people and teach people how to use available engines to make whatever game they are trying to make, like RPG Maker XP, or 2D Fighter Maker, or Mugen, or whatever it is. We have a small community, but we do have a dedicated bunch. The contest is simple. All you have to do is, number one, be part of the Discord. If you are not part of my Discord, the link is down on below my channel description. Along with my YouTube channel, you can check out my past streams and tutorials there for RPG Maker and 2D Fighter Maker. Join our Discord and create something. Create something in the terms of game designing. So it could be music, it could be a character in 2D Fighter Maker, it could be a character in RPG Maker, it could be a script for a story in an RPG or in a story, in a fighting game. It could be a line of code. Well, it can't be just a line of code, but it could be a chunk of code for a fighting game or but if it's a chunk of code, you make sure that someone can compile it into something. So make sure that you provide a place for us to compile it, like a C++ compiler online. I know there are plenty of there because I've used C++. Also Python. I personally have a Python compiler, so that would work too. Just anything. And remember, it doesn't need to be fighting game, it doesn't need RPG. You can make a Tetris clone in Python if you wanted. Just no full game. So if you make a Tetris clone, make sure there's something wrong with it when you send it in. You know, purposely make it not complete. That's all you have to do. Something that will make the game crash. Point it out to us. That would be considered incomplete. Alright, let's get down to this tutorial. As I said at the beginning, before my advertisement, we will be taking a look at the database, which I've said before is the heart and soul of your RPG, in RPG Maker XP at least. I don't know about the other ones because I haven't used the other ones. But when someone first opens this, sees all these themes, sees all these items, sees all these enemies, all these states, all these tiles, all this, it's overwhelming. First thing they're going to do is like try to click around and figure out what's going on. Then they'll go here and they'll go like, oh, what does this do? Oh, I don't like how that looks, so we're going to cancel it. Okay, it scared them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through each one of these tabs like I did in the first time I presented this. But I'm actually going to create something within each of these tabs within the best of my abilities. So, for example, in animations, I'm essentially going to skip because I liked all the default animations they have, and I'm not an artist and an animator, so I'm not good with animating. I can tell you that it moves in a frame-by-frame basis, and you just pick a frame and add it on, but that's all I really know. I don't know how to make it look good. So, forewarning when we get there. But we will start with what I do know, which is the very beginning in actors. Actors are your characters, if you haven't guessed. So, we will change the maximum, and we will do +1, which is 9. We have a blank one. So we will create a new character called test character. And okay, I didn't know that's what would happen. I press enter and everything closed. Now, over here we have our class that we can pick. This goes in conjunction with one of these. Oh, it was right next to it. I'm sorry. It goes right next. It goes in conjunction with the classes tab. So if we want to make a new class, we just change maximum, and we will be able to give our test character a new class. We will do that in a moment. For now, we will start out with just the actors. We will keep him at a fighter, just for now. Now the EXP curve is exactly what you think. You can, it's the amount of XP it requires for them to level up. So defaultly, they have 30 and 30. These, they give you some good examples, 25, 35, 26, 35, 26, 34. So what this is what's the base? The base is 30. And then the inflation is 30. The next level will be 30 plus whatever the inflation is, but it's not like 30 plus 30. I believe this is 30%. Let's test my theory on that. Well, 30 times 0.3 is 9. 49. That sounds about right. No, that should be 39. Okay, let's do this then. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, wait, total. That would probably help. There we go. That's why, because I was looking at level 1. So, yeah. If we go to 30%, first level is 30, second level is 30 plus that percent. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, yes, that is what your inflation is. It'll be your base plus this percentage. So we will keep it on 30-30 just for this test character. So this to next level tab, just so you don't get confused like me, that's why I had this aha moment. At level 1, it will take 30 points to get to 2. From there, it will be 49 points to get to 3, etc., etc. Total is you need 0 points to be level 1. You need 30 points to be level 2. You need 79 points of your total, so meaning the 30 that you've gotten plus this equals 3. So in actuality, it's only 39. Or I'm sorry, 49. But this is your total EXP. So we're going to press OK. Character. You simply pick the sprite you want. It can be anything. Monster. It could be an animation if you want it to be an animation. But we will pick a standard character just as normal. Remember, on my last stream, I showed you guys how to upload your own sort resources. You could use that, so that way you're not using these defaults. But the default stuff is pretty good, and you can change your color slightly. It's not the best thing, but like, you know, it gives you a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of differences. Like slightly hewing the default to maybe 2 ticks to the right, like now he's a blonde, like a really blonde. The going a full step, you might not show up on stream, but there's these little ticks where my mouse is. It's 3 ticks for a full step. That's a little pushing it, and anything beyond that, then you're really changing their color. So like, you make them blue, well, you could say it's like an ice being. Green, maybe a forest being. Fire, a fire being. And then all the way to the right, it's back to normal. So, to make it different than the Aluxus character that defaultly comes with the game, we're going to make this guy blonde. For the battle graphic, as you see, here is our dragon graphic that we found online before. But we'll do the fighter, and we will match that blonde. See it? Doesn't look that bad. Skin's about the same. It's beyond that the skin starts to change. So go with that. You know, no, we'll go with that harsh yellow. We'll make him really truly blonde. What do you think with this one? There we go. Now for weapons, since he's defaultly fighter, we'll just pick the defaults. It's just a drop-down list in what you give him access to, which will come into the class tab. Okay, so all of this is just drop-downs. Now the fixed means they can only use what's here. So if, for example, if you don't want them to use a shield, you click none, and then you put fixed because he cannot equip a shield, and it will forever stay as none. That's what fixed does. But he clearly has a shield, so we're going to have shield. Now, for the scary part, the parameters. A lot of people just like would see this and go, well, I can change this. I don't really see anything changing. If I go like 9900, oh god, something changed. Oh no, what do I do? Cancel, I don't like it. Okay. Anyway, as you level up, this is the level up curve of their stat. In this case, it's their max HP. So if you want, right now it's linear. It levels up in a straight line. Obvious, I know. If you want it to be exponential, for all you math nerds, you want to go for more of a curve like that. That would be kind of exponential. Let me see if I can do a more exaggerated one. Yep, something like that. That's exponential. You can go logarithmic, logarithm, which is, and then it flattens out. So they have a quick spike, and then it starts to flatten out. You can do something crazy, just, I don't know. You want to be cruel, you can go backwards. Start out really powerful, and as they level up, they get weaker. But that's what this is. It's just a curve. You pick the level that you want them to be at. So like 86, they will have that much HP. I personally don't want to bother with this because the default settings on RPG Maker are good. It's not traditional. So for example, your character will start out doing like 200 something damage, but the default balance works. I highly recommend using it if it's your first time making an RPG, because if you change anything, it will require you to balance everything. So press cancel and just keep it the same. But while you're in this menu, you can go to each one of these, and as you can see, since it is a new character, all of these are the same. So we'll go A, B, C, D, E, C. As you can see, all of these are now different curves. Okay? Now this generate curve button, you can just pick the level or go here and it will do it for you. So level 1, they start out with 50, what are we in? Intelligence. The maximum 515. So if you go fast, as you can see, it generates a curve for you. Go slow, generates another curve for you. You do middle, it makes it linear. So all that thing I said about exponential and logarithmic, that's how you do it in here cleanly. Because it looked exactly the same as what I did. There's the logarithmic. There's the exponential. For now, we will keep it linear. All right. And that is the Actors tab. Next tab is the Class tab. So, as you can see, it's where we make a class. Again, people don't really know how to do this, and they would click here, see multi-copy and copy, paste. Doesn't really work. So you have to change the maximum. We will do +1, and we will name this test class. And I press enter again by reflex. I'm sorry. So we can go back to our actors. There's his test class. We will call it test class. As you can see, everything is unequipped. So here, you could pick what they could equip. Seeing it is a test class, we're going to just let them equip everything. If there's something you don't want them to equip, you don't need to check it off. Simple as that. But as a test class, let's say he's just for testing games, get through everything, make sure everything works. I'm going to give him every single item. he's allowed to equip every single item, every single weapon. So now we will go to accessories, shields, helms, hats, everything. He's allowed to equip everything. All right. So now we can go back to our actors, and now he can select any of these weapons. I'm going to give him a mithril. Everything just mithril because it's OP. Ring of Strength. Okay. Thinking about it, he's a test character, so we're going to start him off at initial level, 99. And I pressed enter again, like a... We'll go max HP. Okay, so the maximum value is 999. I put one too many nines. Okay. So we're just gonna make him maximum stats, everything. I put one too many nines again? Oh, this one's 3 digits. Always read those error messages, they help you. Oop. Okay. So now he's maximum all the time, maximum level all the time, maximum everything. Click apply. So now back to classes, since we're not done. So the position is where they are positioned during battle. You don't actually see this unless you do like side view battle system, which I may cover in the future. But a melee would be front, support would be middle, healers would be in the rear, you know, that type of thing. So we're going to keep them in the front. Now over here in elemental efficiency, you can give them a grade. This grade reflects on how they do with certain elements. So he's a test character. We're going to give him high efficiency. We have I don't know why it's doing this. It goes from bottom to top. So I'll do the alphabet backwards. F is being the lowest. They have the worst efficiency with that. E is slightly better. D is slightly better. C is average. So if you don't know what they're good at or what they're good at fighting at, then you keep it at C for now. But you could always do better. Basically, if you give this person, like here we have a mage. I guess, the default ones are all default. Okay, that's fine. If we have, let's say, someone like a priest or something, they would have an A on light, but an F on darkness, because, you know, priest class, holy classes are always good with light spells. That's what this would do. So let's add an A to all of these, because test character has to be OP. The versus one is the same thing. So it says versus undead, versus snake, versus aquatic. That's how well they do if they get bonus damage or the opponent gets bonus damage. So let's say it's versus an angel. It's a demon class. An angel would do extra damage, so they should have an F. They will do extra damage to them, and they will do reduced damage to the enemy. State efficiency works the same way. How efficient will they be able to do these states? For now, we'll just keep those average. Learn a skill. Well, you just press edit, At a certain level, they can learn a skill, and you pick what level that is. So at level 5, let's say, he learns heal. Edit. Level 10, he learns light, and etc, etc. Alright, next is skills. So just like the previous, we have change maximum. We will do +1 so we can do a new skill. And we're just going to call this one kill all. The icon we will pick, maybe I can find a skull and crossbones or something, some kind of death looking icon, I don't know. We have a few to select, but maybe... No, doesn't look like we can pick anything good. So we'll just pick this one. And we're going to put a description. Kills all enemies on the field instantly. Scope. You can pick one enemy, all enemies, one allies, all allies, one ally who is dead, all allies that are dead, or the user. So one enemy and all enemies is pretty obvious. One ally, it's obvious if you think about it in terms of our RPG. One ally, you can give one ally an attack buff if you use this skill. All allies, you can give all the allies an attack buff if you use this skill, or heal, or whatever. Now the one that says HP 0 is when they're specifically dead. So like, this skill will raise them. Or Phoenix down if you're a Final Fantasy person. Since we're making a skill that will kill all enemies, we're going to pick all enemies only in battle because we don't want to be able to use this. It always means you can use a skill in battle and outside of battle, which seems obvious, but some people don't really see that. I know I didn't when I first saw this. Only in battle would be like for attack skills, and only for the menu is when you're in the world, open world. Never is never. It's just a skill that exists and you can never use it. It's kind of silly, but they added that. We will use only in battle because it is a skill that kills all enemies instantaneously. So for the user animation, you just pick one of these animations. If you created one yourself, you can pick it. But these are the default animations, and this will appear on your character's sprite. So we'll pick special move. The target animation is what is the animation that will play on top of the enemy when this attack hits. So let's pick, I don't know, I guess explosion. I think I did that right. Yep, I did that right. So we pick explosion. Now, SP cost is your special meter. You pick how much it's going to cost. And I believe you can actually... No, I thought there would be a help menu if you right click on something. Oh, there is. Yeah, just an FYI, you can right click and you can say, what's this? But anyway. SP cost, we're going to say it's 0. For the power, we're going to say maximum because it's our OP test character. I press enter again, like an idiot. Gotta stop doing that. Coefficient indicating how much the user's attack power. Okay, so this is the scaling. This is the default power of the skill. This is the scaling of it. So how much of their attack power will actually transfer to the skill power. This is the strength, dexterity modifier, agility modifier. I know it's very overpowered, but that is the point of it. Hit rate 100%, and we will leave those on default. And apparently the maximum I can pick is only 200. $100. Okay, so I guess these are done by percentages. That's fine. All right, so those are done by percentages. Just make sure you guys remember that. So let's go to classes and make sure he actually has that skill. Edit, level 1. Find the skill we just made. Kill all. And now he has, this guy, our test character, has the kill all skill that will destroy everything on the field. Alright, next thing on our list is items. So, as usual, we cannot make a new one. We have to change the maximum. We'll add +1. And we will make an item called Heal All. I keep pressing enter. Alright, we'll pick a potion. I like this one. Heals everyone in the party. And yes, I'm doing caps lock on purpose because I want to be able to see the difference of my test skills versus the whatchamacallit, the default skills. I want to see what I created versus theirs. That way I can easily just make a reference if I have to. Alright, so there's an item that will heal everyone. So all allies. Occasion, always. User animation, we're going to put use item. Target animation, we're going to do HP recovery 3. I didn't give the previous skill a sound effect, did I? Huh. That's fine. Anyway, we don't need a common event. It's consumable, parameter, none, price, none. Recover HP percent. Recover HP. Oh, wait. Is that allowed? Yep, 999. Actually, let's do recover all. Make sure it heals SP as well. Again, test game purposes. And their SP. 100%, 1000%. And apply. And that is how you make an item. That one is actually not too hard. Alright, weapons. So, this is where, again, some of the difficulty comes in. Yes, it's as simple as add another slot, go here, name your item. But the reason why this is difficult, as you can see, I'm just running through the motion. Press enter again. As you can see, I'm just running through the motions. The reason why I say this is a little difficult is, again, RPG Maker has its own scaling, and it works. But if you're new to RPG Maker and you start messing with these values, you could completely ruin the scaling of your game. That's why I say, for new people using RPG Maker, use the default items. Use it as a basis. So, what I've done to give a little bit of variety, I used Bronze Sword, Iron Sword, Steel Sword, Mithril Sword. But that's only 4 items for a whole game. That's a pretty small inventory of swords. What I've done was I did Bronze Sword +1, +2, +3, +4. I basically, each one of those pluses will be, I think I did in my game, +2 attack, plus each increment. So +3 would actually be +6 attack. Or maybe I just did +1 attack. Excuse me. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while. But I did that so I would have like 20 variations of bronze swords until you get to Iron Sword. Because I didn't feel like thinking of like creative names or whatever. Like a common sword name is Dragon Slayer. I wasn't going to go through and just make 50 new swords or 12 or whatever is required. But anyway, the scaling that they use are in the hundreds. So if you're thinking, well, 100's a lot, it might be perfect. But if I do something like just 50, that's going to be way underpowered than what they have in this default system. So then you're going to need to go to your enemies. You're going to need to change all their defensive stats, all their attack stats. See, a ghost, which is a low level monster, has 100 attack. That's gonna one-shot you if you have low defense, or rather a low stat defense on your character, which I think, let's see, HP, this person has 472. That person's gonna get like 200 damage. So everything you needs to be considered. You can't just go, I want this to be a weak weapon. Maybe I want this to be a strong weapon. Well, 500. Well, let's reference our Mithril Sword. How much is attack does this give? 218. And the Mithril Sword is defaultly the strongest sword in the default game. So I know 218 will be a fairly decent balance. But since I just said, oh, 500, I know this is gonna really, really be overpowered. So always consider scaling in your game. Now, in this case, I want it to be overpowered since it's going to my test character. Can I go 4 9s? I cannot. Okay, so 3 9s it is. Maximum attack. And if some weapons can give defensive stats, you got physical defense, magical defense, strength plus, dexterity plus, agility plus, and intelligence plus. These will modify your base stats. You can also give it an element if you want, or a bonus against certain monsters. So if you have like a Holy Cross against undead, it will be good bonus damage. Sometimes some weapons can inflict statuses. All you need to do is check it. Oops. Oh, right-clicking also works. What does the minus do? Okay, so if you use it, okay, that's good. I'm really liking this. I always forget this exists. So a plus will add the state, and a minus will remove the state. So if you wanted to add a knockout, you do plus, minus removes it. So there you go. Now we will go back to our actor and give him his overpowered test weapon, which I can't because I need to add it on his class. There it is. Test weapon. Apply. Actors. Roll the way bottom. Test weapon. Alright, so now we're through weapons. Armors. So the same thing that I've been preaching about weapons. Consider your scaling. We'll make a new one. Test armor. Not a shield. We're going to put a body armor. Icon. Let's go. That's a dress. Default. OP armor. Gonna give it the maximum value of defense on everything. Maximum value of evasion. We don't need strength modifiers. Apparently it's 100. 1,000 on this one. Alright. Now we gotta go back to classes. Make sure our test character can equip it. Actors. Go to body armor. And there's test armor. Now if we want to have like a helm or something, we just do the same thing. Change maximum. Create it, name it, give the stat modifiers, elemental defense. Actually, let's give him all elemental defense. And all monster defenses. Apply. Alright. We are almost halfway through the tabs, which is awesome. So I already made a test monster here. We got our dragon that I made last stream. So I'm not going to go through this tab because I have a video specifically on how to make monsters. And that video also covers how to make troops. As you can see, I have my dragon here. We go to battle test. I can pick my test character. He can 1v1 the monster, I'm pretty sure. Press OK. Oh yeah, I did some silly test music in RPG Maker. So we'll hit defend. As you can see, my test character takes no damage. Just gonna do kill all. Instantly dies. Okay. So we did all that last stream. Go to states. All right. Now back to the tutorials. So these are the standard states that you would see in any game. Like I said, these are they're good. They're just everything you'd see in a standard RPG. I never made a new one, but for the sake of the tutorial, we will make a new one. So 17, we're gonna call it test state. The state is exactly what you would think. It's just the status of a player. So like they're knocked out, they can't be stunned, they can't take any of these ailments basically. Stun, hold on, pardon me, I got a burp. Okay, that's done. Stun, venom. Yeah, you can, it basically tells you what conditions is going to be here. But for this test state, we'll give it, I really don't know. Because, I mean, is there an immune state? Yeah, barrier. They have barrier, so I don't really know what I can make off the top of my head. Okay, I'll just do special move. See, they have everything here. Sharp is the, I don't know, that's a silly name, but Sharp is the state where they add attack. Barrier is, you know, barrier. I'm not really sure what I can make here. I don't know. We'll do all elemental defense, let's say. I think they have one of those here too. Oh no, they don't. Okay, sure. So when the user casts this, they will be in a state of elemental defense, and it will increase all their elemental defense. Let's go with that. After 5 turns, what'd they use? 100% chance? Okay, sure. 100% chance. But it's just a standard point and click and pick your values. This one you don't need to worry too much about scaling because it's a state. It's just what state is your character in? Are they paralyzed? Are they asleep? Are they confused? Etc. etc. So for my test state, it's they will gain all elemental defenses. Animations. I knew we were going to get here at some point. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I am not good at animations, but it is the standard thing. Change maximum to add your own. Test animation. Pick the animation graphic you want to pick, which is actually a sprite sheet. So I'll pick that one, darkness, sure. So as you can see, it subdivides all of these sprites for you. And then this is your frame counter right here. And let's pick this one, I guess. Yeah, see, this is what, aha, there we go. So let's do that. Frame, oh, I'm still in frame 1. How do I get rid of this? Delete. Insert. There we go. I'm learning as I go. All right, here's frame 2. Insert and frame 3. So all you have to do is insert a frame and then click and you will have your animation. If you want to delete it, just right click and delete. Like I said, I'm not good at animations, but there you go. This one doesn't seem too hard because it's Well, it seems like it's just point and click. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there you go. I got it animating. Oh, I have 2 frames into number 2. Leave that one. Wait. There we go. Purple, moving purple ball. That's how you add animations. All right, next one, tile sets. So tile sets are a little tricky because I'm pretty sure not everybody knows how to animate, but again, standard stuff. Change. Test tiles. Now for the graphics, again, we can have all these beautiful defaults ones that RPG Maker has provided for us. Highly recommend using them if you want to attempt to make your own, so that's perfectly fine. I am not that capable, so we will just pick one of these. So we're going to pick Grassland. No, let's pick... yeah, let's pick Grassland, just for demonstration purposes. So, next thing is auto tile graphics. So the auto tiles are the tiles like, okay, if I go over here to my screen, these tiles where it appears differently over to the right. So like this water tile is up here. Let me get out of this window. Right here. I'm not sure if you can see it, and I don't have the capabilities to zoom in. But this water tile is, when you only stamp it once, it turns into just like this little tiny puddle, little tiny man-made creek. It's an auto tile because if you make one that's adjacent to it, it expands. One tile off, it doesn't expand, but that's why it's an auto tile. It automatically creates it for you. So if we go back to our database and we go add auto tile, water, there it is right on top. That's what these are for, auto tile. The panoramic graphic is if you leave any dead space, this is what's going to appear on that dead space. So we're going to just put a default sky. I think I demonstrated panorama in one of these. Yes. So in this one, I demonstrated panorama. Yes, save changes. And if we go up here, now we can see the sky. On my actual map, as you can see in the background, I don't have that sky. That is just what the panorama does. It adds a little bit of layer to your game, gives it a background. You don't need to have like a solid tile set for everything. This one also has a panorama, but I'm not going to demonstrate that one. So I picked the sky. The fog graphic is what will appear on top, and it will make it slightly transparent depending on your opacity. So we will pick, like if you're going through a desert, you can pick a sandstorm. If you're underwater, pick water, like a water fortress or whatever. We're going to pick a fog. Normal blending, zoom is fine, and we're going to keep the opacity. And the battle graphic is the graphic that you will pick when a battle is initiated on this map. We will pick Grassland for easiness. All right. So again, the part that confuses a lot of people is the passage. You see all these X, O's, and when you click it, it turns into an X. Well, it's a lot simpler than you think. If you have passage highlighted and you don't want them to pass through, like you don't want them to pass through this tree trunk, so you make an X. However, you want them to be able to pass behind the tree, so you leave those as O's. So right here at the base is good enough. So the passage direction is where can they walk in and where can they walk out. You can click each of these arrows and disable it. So if you have no passage, that's almost the same thing as having an X there. Oh, as you can see, it turns into an X. If you can only enter a certain area of the map, or not certain area of the map, a certain area of the sprite, you want to, like, you can only enter it from the left side. Disable the top, the bottom, and the right, and only left. Meaning they can only enter from that left part of the sprite. Now, priority is how much higher is it? So for a tree, if you put 1 down here, the player will be underneath it. Because player is defaultly on the lowest priority, unless otherwise stated. Now, you can easily just go, oh, if that's the case, then anything that's on this tree plane, oops, I'm going to put as a 1. Well, yes, but no. Maybe there's something else that, you know, at some point it's higher than the tree. Maybe at some point the tree is lower. Or maybe the tree is just always higher. So as you go higher on priority, it's literally higher than everything else. I think the maximum is 5. Yeah, the maximum is 5. So defaultly, the player will be on top. That's what no priority is. 1, the player is under. And obviously anything that is a higher number in priority, it will appear over that sprite. So as things get higher, just increase the priority. If you look at the default sprites, as you can see, it's the same thing. Oh, I'm wrong. They did 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's do 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe the player is defaultly 1. So there you go. But what I stated stays the same. The higher the priority, the higher they quote unquote appear on the sprite, allowing the player to run underneath or on top. Now, bush flag is something that I have never figured out, but we did discover this. I can go, what's this? Translucent, sets the translucent, the bottom 12 pixels. File. Ah, okay. So probably that's, yep, here we go. So, if I'm reading this correctly, as you can see, there's a symbol now. If a character is walking through this, it will put the sprite on top of them, but be translucent, as if it's like, as you can see here, they use it for grass, which is a very good application. I didn't know that's what it did. And it will partially be on their feet, partially over it. It just gives the effect of them stepping in like a bush or a grass. That's why it's called bush flag. So I'm going to do that with the my test file. Might as well. Counter flag. Sent an event. Okay, so I kind of figured. This will set an event on whatever tile that you're putting it. Again, you can just read this. Even when events cannot normally begin without the player being adjacent, place counter tiles between and an event can be triggered when the player is not directly setting it off. So you can just put an event on one of these tiles. Say like a broken bridge, they step on this piece and then an event triggers. Terrain flag is probably the same. Well, that seems a little useless. And it seems the default is always at 0. Yeah, that doesn't help any new players. It doesn't help me since I'm still confused. Each tile is allotted a number from 0 to 7. There is no concrete application rules. Use the control variables event command. Oh, okay. So if you want to do something like change your terrain or your map sprite, 0 does nothing. But if you change the value to 1 through 7, you can use common events or some kind of event to actually change the terrain. That's what the terrain tag does. Okay. So we're not going to mess with that. I don't think any of these have done that. Nope. Probably the reason for that is because they want the creator to actually make their own thing. So like, let's say an earthquake happens and a tree breaks, or the season change and you go from a tree with leaves to a tree with no leaves. That's what you would do. You would just put ones in all these sprites tiles, and you would be able to use a terrain tag and use a common event. Speaking of which, now we're on common events, which I have made a common event before, so I am not going to go over this. You can look at my previous stream for that. And finally, we are at system. The system is just basically where again, it's a nice point and click menu. So let's start at the top left. Your initial party is exactly as it implies. You just pick amongst your list of actors who you are initially starting with. In this case, we will pick my test character. Here you can pick your elemental names. You can change the maximum. And if we do add another one, just call it, ooh, no, not that one. Test element. Press apply. We go back to our, where is it? States tab. You can see now we have test element. Okay. Next thing is all these drop menus. Here you can pick all your graphics. So for your windows, your menu title, game over graphic, etc., etc. Now I'm not going to go through all of these because a lot of it is just, well, you're just picking one. Yeah, that's kind of the point. They made RPG Maker very whatchamacallit, very point and click, so be confident in yourselves. I know pointing and clicking can ruin things, but not that complicated. So all you have to do is just point, click on what you want, preview it, and if you like it, pick it. That was a sound effect. We got music effects. We got our BGMs. You can just click and preview it. For the pictures, click it. They obviously for title graphics and Windows, you only get one. I'm pretty sure you can find some free sources out there, so go ahead and try to find those in Google. Just type in RPG Maker XP free sources. There are a lot of forums where there's a lot of artists out there who are willing to share their work. Anyway, yeah, just pick your system stuff, preview it. If you like it, press OK. If not, use the default. And finally, the last one where it says words is as it is. What is your currency? If you just change it, right, it's defaultly G. You can just say money. Click apply. HP, SP. Now, their default terminology will stay the same no matter what. So that way you could navigate it. But if you change HP to health, then everywhere else in your game, it will say restore health, restore whatever. So let's see. HP recovery, one ally, restores HP. I can't find it. I can't find a good example, but that's all it is. It's just changing the name of the stat. The stat stays the same. It functions the same. It does the same thing. But you can just change it to whatever you want. And I don't think I've changed it because personally in items, you type in the description anyway. It still says restores HP to one ally. I would still need to manually type in restores health to one ally. But that's all that does. So renaming doesn't do anything different, but it can, you know, make your game a little more unique. All right, that was 50 minutes and we got through all the database tabs. And hopefully if you watch through this whole thing, whether it's on stream or YouTube, it helps you learn a little more about RPG Maker XP. That was long. I did not expect it to take me that long, but as I said, for troops and enemies and common events, I covered that in my previous stream, so you can go check that out. Other than that, we've gotten through the database as another thing in RPG Maker you guys can use to hopefully up your quote-unquote game. So thank you for showing up. If you're watching this YouTube, thank you for watching. Just a reminder, as I said in the beginning, there is a community contest. You can go down in the description of my Twitch channel or my YouTube channel to find a link to my Discord, where we, not my Discord, but the community I'm part of. I help maintain that server. We help teach and learn about making games for yourself using RPG Maker, 2D Fighter, Mugen, whatever you can think of. We also encourage Unity and whatever. We are just trying to grow. Please join there, and then you can enter our community contest. You can find details there or at the beginning of this video. Thank you for watching, and wherever you are, please be safe, especially during this time of the pandemic, and be nice to your fellow human beings. Have a good day or night.